Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to yet another live session for your upcoming IBPS PO exam brought to you by TalentSprint. Well, I hope all of you have had enough practice over the last few days, and with the limited time available in hand now, I think you should only make it aggressive from here on, right? So just remember, the only shortcut is to practice more, right? It just makes things really easy, and more importantly, it gives you that confidence when you walk into the examination center, right? So just keep practicing and don't worry too much about what's going to happen in the exam and what type of questions would come, what questions would not come, how would you manage, etc., right? All those things will fall in place once you are once you are doing enough with your practice. Now today's discussion is going to be on a very interesting topic from reasoning, which is blood relations, right? Usually carries a weightage of up to 5 marks. Sometimes you get a set of 3 questions, sometimes a set of 5 questions. These days we have also seen that questions on data sufficiency, etc., are being framed on blood relations. So I think net a very important topic, right? And it's just that you need to get used to this type of questions that we can get in blood relations, right? Otherwise the concept is easy. It's what we see in our day-to-day life, right? I mean, different relations that we have. It's just that there is a standard convention that we need to follow while attempting such questions, right? I mean, different to kind of put this in perspective, different communities have different rules or different equations that they have, right, which may not be applicable while you are solving such questions. So what I'm trying to say is there is a like, what is meant by brother-in-law? There's a definition to that, right? What is meant by sister-in-law? There's a definition to that. Who can be your uncle or aunt? There's a definition to that. So follow those basic conventions from our videos available on YouTube, and then just practice a few questions. I'm sure you will master this topic. So let's get started. I have a bunch of questions today to deal with, all on blood relations, interesting ones. So I'll present the first set of questions to you now, which is here on your screen. What does it say? I'm not going to teach you any of the basics. You can learn that through the videos which are already available. Let's directly jump into solving these questions. So the direction here is study the information carefully and answer the questions given below. So we've got 2 questions with the given information. What is the information? P is the husband of Q. R is the grandchild of P. P has only one child who is married to T's daughter. X is the grandson of T who has only 2 children. S is brother-in-law of son of T. U and V are children of T. W is married to the son of T. X is son of U's brother. So a lot of relationships given to us in parts here. You all need to draw a sort of family tree based on this given data, and then answering these questions would be easy, right? What are the questions, by the way? If T is married to Y, then how is T related to R? And the next one is, how is X related to S? So let's get started. What's the first statement? P is the husband of Q. Now there are different notations that different people follow, right? Different conventions that different people follow while drawing a family tree. The simple thing that I have discussed in the videos is, if you have P is the husband of Q as an equation, as a relation, you just write P and Q with a double-headed arrow in between. Now this double-headed arrow tells me that this is a husband and wife couple, right? This is a married couple. And since we very clearly know that P is the husband, I can say his husband and wife. So male and female notation there, right? So P is the husband of Q. So whenever you see this kind of a branch in a family tree, you should make out that this is husband and wife couple. This is a married couple. Next, R is the grandchild of P. R is a grandchild of P. Grandchild of P meaning what? P's child's child is grandchild. So P has got a child. We do not know who that person is, right? But that person's child is R. R is a grandchild of P. And do we know the gender of R? No. It tells us it is a grandchild. Now grandchild could be grandson or granddaughter. Both are possible. So we will leave it at that and move on. P has only one child. P has only one child. So that's clear again that P has only one child. There's no other children that P has or P and Q have. And this one child which P has is married to T's daughter. Now this is interesting. P has only one child. Who refers to this child here, right? P has only one child, this person, who is married to T's daughter. So he's married to someone. He's married to someone, and that someone is T's daughter. Okay. I'm just trying to use a longer arrow here so that we have enough space to place people properly. This is T's daughter. Try and understand. P has only one child. P has only one child. There's a child who's married to. He's married to someone. Who's that someone? T's daughter. So T's daughter is married to P's child. Now it's obvious that if this is daughter, if this is the female in the equation, this has to be the male person. So P and Q is a husband and wife couple, and P's son is married to T's daughter. That's the other couple. Again, T will be married to somebody. We may or may not. We do not know about that as of now. But that's the equation. Next, X is the grandson of T. X is the grandson of T who has only two children. Now this is again important. Who here refers to T. Who refers to the preceding person, right? So X is the grandson of T. We'll come to that later. But T has only two children. T has only two children. So one child is this, who's married to P's son, and there's one more child, which means that other child is a sibling of this woman here, right? So let's say there's one more child. Now who that child is, again, we do not know. Remember, it's a single-headed arrow. These are double-headed arrows, right? A single-headed arrow indicates siblings. So this is daughter. We do not know if this is son or daughter. It could be either, right? So T has only two children. Who are the two children of T? This person and this person. Now look at this. X is the grandson of T. X is the grandson of T. X is the grandson of T. Now grandson of T could either be son of this couple or son of this person if he is married and if that data is available. But as of now, in the sense of generations, there is X would come in the third generation, right? X is the grandson of T, a male son, male child, right? Grandson of T. Now it could either be this person's child or this person's child. Okay, so that we will figure out. I'm just putting a dotted line indicating both are possible. S is the brother-in-law of son of T. S is the brother-in-law of son of T. Now, son of T clearly indicates that this should be the son. See, T has only two children, we already knew. We knew that T has only one children, and we had also established that one of those children is a female. Now, the mention of son of T here clarifies that the other child has to be male. If one child is female, the other child has to be male because T also has got a son. Yeah. Now, read the statement again. S is the brother-in-law of son of T. Son of T is this person. T's son is this person. This is T's daughter, T's son. Brother-in-law of son of T. Who would be the brother-in-law of son of T? T's sister's husband, right? Your sister's husband is your brother-in-law. Brother-in-law is your sister's husband. Yeah, of course, brother-in-law can also be your spouse's brother. But in this context, with the information that we have, it has to be this person's sister's husband, right? So S is the brother-in-law of son of T. So son of T is this, brother-in-law is your sister's husband. So S comes here. Okay. U and V are children of T. U and V are children of T. U and V are children of T. So U and V would take these two places. Now who is U and who is V, we do not know. We'll figure that out. W is married to the son of T. W is married to the son of T. W is married to the son of T. So T's son is also married. T's son is also married and he is married to W. So W has to be a female person, right? W is married to the son of T. W is married to the son of T. X is son of U's brother. Look at this. X is son of U's brother. See, in this whole diagram so far, in this whole tree so far, if you see X is son of U's brother, we have already established that X is either this person's child or this person's child. The last statement says X is son of U's brother. U's brother. Now, can this be U? No. Because U has to have a brother. If you consider this person to be U, U has a sister, but we want U's brother as per the given data. You're able to follow. So it's obvious that U is this person and this is V. You're getting it? We know that U and V are the children of T. So these two guys should be U and V. These two boxes should be taken by U and V respectively. I mean, in some fashion. But there is a mention of U's brother. So obviously, if U's brother has to be considered, then U has to be female. U has to be this girl here. And her brother is V. Now, X is the son of U's brother. So U's brother is V, whose son is X. So X is the son of U's brother. That's clarified now. So X has got no, X is not the son of U now. X is the son of V. That's it. We have read all the statements and established whatever we see here in the family tree. Now you don't have to go back to the data, it's very clear, right? We do not know who T's spouse is, but P and Q is a married couple. They have a child S. S is married to U, who's the daughter of T. U's brother is V. V is married to W. V and W have got a son X. And S and U have got a child R. Now this child is male or female, we do not know from the given information. Now you can answer the questions easily. Of course, here we have got only 2 questions, but there can be more than 2 questions, right? Sometimes it can be a 5 marks question. There's enough data for us to have 5 questions with this. Now look at the question. If T is married to Y, if T is married to Y, T is married to Y, if T is married to Y, so T is married to Y, then how is T related to R? How is T related to R? I think irrespective of whether T is married to Y or not, T's relation with R is known to us, right? How is T related to R? See, R's father is S, R's mother is U. Your mother's parent, again understand, between T and Y, whose father and whose mother is not known to us. Is T the father of U or mother of U? We have no clue about that, right? Has it been given anywhere? No. We do not know if T is the father or mother. The genders are not known to us. Genders of T and Y are not known to us. So all we know is T is the parent of U. So R's mother, your mother's parent is your grandparent, right? It could be your grandfather or grandmother. To be specific, it could be your maternal grandfather or maternal grandmother, right? Your relationships on the father side are paternal relationships, right? These would be paternal grandparents. These are paternal grandparents, right? And these are maternal grandparents because these are parents of your mother. These are maternal grandparents. Okay, so R's mother's parent, R's maternal grandparent. Now look at the options: grandfather, grandmother, maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother. You know that C and D both are possible, so either C or D, option 5. Either C or D, option 5. Next question: how is X related to S? How is X related to S? Where is X? X is here. How is X related to S? Now if you see, S wife's nephew, right? See, use brother's child. What is the relationship between you and X? Use brother's child. Your brother's child is your nephew or niece, but his son here, we know, right? So your brother's son is your nephew, right? Your brother's son is your nephew. So use nephew. If you use nephew, then it is also S's nephew, because S and U are like a married couple, right? So the relationship between S and X is also that of a uncle and nephew, right? Aunt and nephew, uncle and nephew. So how is X related to S? X is the nephew of S. Or otherwise, if you are confused whether it is nephew or not, look at the other options. Anyway, get eliminated, right? Is X the son of S? No. Is X the son-in-law of S? No. Is X the daughter-in-law? No. Is X the husband? No. So obviously option B is the answer. Anyway, the point is your spouse's nephew is also your nephew, right? Your spouse's niece is your niece, as good as that. So actually use nephew, but you can say S is nephew as well. So as simple as that. You just have to be careful in drawing that family tree. Do it carefully. Leave nothing for random choice. Like for example, if you are confused that it can be either this or this, don't assume that, okay, like for example, initially we had this confusion, right? Is X the son of U or V? What did we do? Did we conclude anything? No. We had put a dotted line, meaning it can either be the son of U or V. I do not know. And that one connection will change the entire relationship of X with everybody else in the family, right? So you have to be very careful with this. If you don't do it properly, don't mark it unless you're sure. Only if you're sure about something, connect it. Otherwise, just leave it with the multiple choices or multiple options that we have. So once you've done this carefully, I think answering questions would be easy. Here we had only 2 questions. It can also be up to 5 questions in the exam. Okay. Let's move on. I think we have some interesting questions here on equations. Now this is another model in blood relations. I think this is model number 1 itself, if you go refer to the basic videos of blood relation, where you are given different symbols with their meanings in the form of relationship between 2 persons. Like for example, P hash Q means P is the son of Q. So wherever you see hash between two persons, you should understand that the first person is the son of second person. Likewise, P at the rate Q means Q is the child of P. So if you see X at the rate Y is the child of X. Read it carefully, right? P at the rate Q means Q is the child of P. So X at the rate Y would mean Y is the child of X, right? Child of X, it could be son or daughter both. So likewise, set of symbols with their meanings is given to us, and then we have equations like A at the rate B, star D, ampersand G, hash H, etc. So you have to now solve that equation and establish the relationship between the two given persons, right? Interesting questions. Usually I find elimination to work greatly while answering such questions, right? The elimination technique. Instead of figuring out what the right answer is, try to find out what the wrong answers are. It most of the times gives you the answer faster. So maybe you can try that while attending such questions. Otherwise also it's easy to solve. So let me present the first one. We have got a set of 2 questions here. Let me take the first one. On your screens now. Try it out. I hope all of you are trying this out. Okay, let's take it up. So what does it say? In the following questions, the symbols hash, at the rate, ampersand, star, etc. are used with the following meanings as illustrated below. Study the following information and answer the given questions. The first one, P hash Q means P is the son of Q. P at the rate Q means Q is the child of P. Now, it's important to read it carefully, right? See, if you see P hash Q, it means P is the son of Q. The first person is the son of second person. But when it is P at the rate Q, it says Q is the child of P. The second person is the child of the first person, right? Many times we go wrong while reading it, right? We assume that first person is the child of second person, or don't just assume that at the rate means child. No, at the rate does not mean child. At the rate means the second person is the child of first person. You can assume that hashtag means son. Wherever you have hash, the first person is the son of second person. But in case of at the rate, it is coming from right to left. Likewise, we have P is the parent of Q. Interestingly, P $Q means P is elder than Q. It's not a relationship. It only signifies whether, that the first person is elder to the second person. Then star means husband. Ampersand here means Q is the daughter-in-law of P. And percentage means P is the wife of Q. Right? So that's the data we have. Now the equation, A at the rate B, star D, ampersand G, percentage E, $F, hash D. Then how is F related to A? How is F related to A? How is F related to A? Now what do you have to do? You just have to, understand all the different relations there and then mark the answer. How is F related to A? Grandfather, grandson, daughter, wife, or none of these. Now A at the rate B. A at the rate B. A at the rate B means what? B is the child of A. B is the child of A. So let me draw the family tree first. B is the child of A. P is the child of A. Now is it a male child or female child? We do not know. Right? P at the rate Q means Q is the child of P. So B is the child of A. B is the child of A. Again, A's gender also is not known to us. Next, B star D. B star D. B star D means what? B is the husband of D. right? P star Q means P is the husband of Q. So B star D would mean B is the husband of D. So B is the husband of D. So a double-headed arrow, B is the husband of D. D is female. D ampersand G. D ampersand G. Ampersand indicates D ampersand G. So P ampersand Q means Q is the daughter-in-law of P. So if you apply the same thing here, it would mean G is the daughter-in-law of D. G is the daughter-in-law of D, meaning D has a son whose wife is G. Yes or no? G is the daughter-in-law of D. G is the daughter-in-law of D, right? D's son's daughter. Your son's wife is your, sorry, this is a married couple. Your son's wife is your daughter-in-law, right? So G is the daughter-in-law of D. Next is G percentage E. G percentage E. Percentage means what? Percentage means P is the wife of Q. So G is the wife of E. G is the wife of E. So this person has to be E, right? Then $F, E $F. Dollar means what? E is elder than F, right? P $Q means P is elder than Q. So here E is elder than F. Now F has not come into picture so far, but E is elder than F. So it would probably, the relationship between E and F would be siblings. See, if for any other relationship, we would know who's elder. Like father and son, obviously father is elder, right? Mother and son, mother is elder. If it is uncle and nephew or niece, obviously uncle is elder. But when it is husband and wife, you never know, right? Or if it is siblings, you can't conclude. Or if it is cousins, you can't conclude. So in those cases, this equation would be useful. So when he says E $F and the meaning of dollar is the first person is elder than the second person, it is probable that E and F are siblings. Either they are siblings or cousins or a married couple, right? Or a couple. But E and F are not a couple is concluded because we know that E is the husband of G, right? So F probably is a sibling of E or cousin of E. But then E is elder than F. Be sure about that. And the last point is F hash D. Hash indicates what? F hash D. F is the son of P hash Q means P is the son of Q. So F hash D would mean F is the son of D. F is the son of D. So F is also son of D. You see? F is also a son of D. Meaning F and E are siblings. They are brothers. And E is elder. E is elder, F is younger. That's it. You're done. Now answer the question. How is F related to A? How is F related to A? A is grandson, right? A is son's son. A's son is B. B's son is F. B's wife's son. B's son. So grandson. Option B would be the answer, right? Be careful. How is F related to A? F is the grandson of A. How is A related to F? You can't conclude that A is the grandfather of F. How is A related to F? How is A related to F? What will be the answer? Answer will be grandparent. Grandparent. F can be grandfather or grandmother. F can be grandfather or grandmother. How is F related to A? F is the grandparent of A. Okay. There's one more question. Let me just present the next one to you. Here's the next one. For the same notations of those symbols there, the equation is this: H star M copyright O and so on. By the way, if you go back to the previous question, is there a way we can eliminate options? Before we look at the next question, let's just try something else here. Is there a way you can eliminate the options here? See, since option 5 is none of this, it is risky to go by elimination technique because this can always be the answer. But let's see if we can at least eliminate the remaining options. A, C, D. Is it possible to eliminate the remaining options? How do we do that? A at the rate B. At the rate means what? Q is the child of P. So B is the child of A. B is the child of A, meaning, see, I have explained this technique of gender and generation gap. Gender and generation gap. This is a very, very powerful technique. This technique of working on gender and generation gap really helps you eliminate the options faster. So when I know B is the child of A, I can say the generation gap between A and B is -1. You're getting it? -1. Or for that matter, the first thing that you will have to do is see, what do we need? We want to find out how is F related to A. For us to find out how is F related to A, I need two things for verification. I need to know the gender of F. Gender of F. So that's what I meant by gender and generation gap, right? I want to know the gender of F, and we have to know the gap between F and A. What is the gap between F and A? Generation gap between F and A. Second thing. If you can find out these two things, eliminating options will become easy. Like for example, how do you get the gender of F? Directly jump to F hash D. F hash D means what? F hash D hashtag here means P is the son of Q. So F is the son of D. F is a son of D. F is a son of D. F is a male person. So it's clear that F is male. We already know the gender of F. F is male. Now how is F related to it? The fact that F is a male, can the answer be daughter or wife? No. F cannot be the daughter of A, right? F is a male person. So daughter, all the female relationships are eliminated. Wife are eliminated. F can be grandson. Grandson is male. F can be grandfather. That also is possible. Or fifth option, none of this is possible. But F cannot be daughter or wife. Likewise, if you figure out the generation gap between F and A, the second point, then maybe A and B also, one of A and B also can be eliminated. But still the risk is option 5, none of this. So it's better that you do a family tree very quickly. But if option 5, none of this is not given, then this technique of gender and generation gap is very, very useful. So how do you establish the gender gap? Just follow A to B. The gender gap is -1, right? B is the child of A. So A is the parent of B. Sorry, what it mean? P at the rate B means we can do it this way actually. P at the rate Q is Q is the child of P. Q is the child of P meaning A is the parent of B. A is the parent of B meaning the gap is 1 between A and B. Right? The gender gap is 1. B star D. Star means what? P is the husband of Q. So B is the husband of D. So generation gap is 0. Right? There is no generation gap. Ampersand means what? D ampersand G. D ampersand G. Q is the daughter-in-law of P. Meaning G is the daughter-in-law of D. So D is 1 generation above G. So 1 more generation gap. This percentage means what? Percentage means wife. Again, generation gap is 0 between G and E. And dollar is only a, gives a relative comparison, right? That P is elder than Q. So E and F are siblings. So again, I can say generation gap is 0. Generation gap is 0 between E and F because they are siblings. Generation gap is 0. Now, if you add the overall generation gap from A to F, the total generation gap from A to F, how much is it? 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0. Total generation gap is 2. Total generation gap is 2. So I know that F is a male person and the generation gap is 2. Generation gap is 2. Now, generation gap is 2 meaning what? See, F is 2 generations below A. From A to F, the gap is 2. From A to F, the total gap is 2. Meaning A is 2 generations above F. A is 2 generations above F. A is 2 generations above F. If A is 2 generations above F, F is 2 generations below A. You understand? If A is 2 generations above F, F is 2 generations below A. So how is F related to A? F should be 2 generations below A. So can F be grandfather? No. Grandson is possible. Grandson is possible, but grandfather is not possible. Right? Grandson is possible, grandfather is not possible. So option B, grandson is possible. Now it could be grandson-in-law also. Right? It could be grandson-in-law also. But yeah, if you are ready to take a chance, maybe you can go ahead with option B. Very clearly, A, C and D are eliminated. C and D are eliminated based on gender of F, and A is eliminated based on the generation gap. Right? So if you are running short of time in the exam, and you want to, if you come across these questions, instead of doing that whole drama of family tree and all that, quickly identify the gender of the important person there. How is F related to A? In that case, I would need the gender of F. How is A related to F? I would need the gender of A, right? So you know whose gender is important. F's gender is important. So find out the gender of F, find out the generation gap between A and F. You will be able to eliminate 3 or 4 options easily, right? And then mark the one which is left out. Okay. So that's the useful technique which we have discussed in our basic videos as well. If you didn't go back to the basic videos, you will be able to understand this thoroughly. Moving on, next question. On the same data, see what it says. If H star M copyright O $N hashtag M @S, the age of N is 20 years, age of H is 50 years, then which cannot be the probable age of S if the sum of the ages of O and S is 60 years. Now this is an interesting one. It's not just blood relations but also age is involved here, right? It's actually a question on age and not relation, right? So he says the equation is this: H star M copyright whatever, age of N is 20 years, so N is equal to 20, age of H is 50 years, H is equal to 50, then which cannot be the probable age of S, which cannot be the age of S. Remember S, which cannot be the age of S if the sum of the ages of O and S is 60. O plus N plus S is equal to 60. See, if O plus N plus S is 60, it's obvious that O plus S is going to be 30. Why? See, N is equal to 20, we know that. So if you substitute this here, we have O plus S, which will be 60 minus 20, sorry, 40. O plus S would be 40. O plus S is going to be 40. So that's the data we have, and then one equation. Now he's asking us to find out the probable age of S, or what cannot be the probable age of S. So let's look at the equations. What do we get from the equation? H star M. Let me draw the family tree quickly. H star M. H is the husband of M. H is the husband of M. M copyright O. Copyright O meaning M is the parent of O. So M is the parent of O. O dollar N. Dollar means what? Okay, O is elder than N. So O and N probably are siblings. Yeah. N hash M. Hash means what? N hash M. N is the son of M. Yeah, N is the son of M. Concluded. Then M at the rate S. M at the rate S. At the rate means what? M at the rate S. S is the child of M. S is the child of M. So S is also a child here. That's the equation. H and M are parents. They have 3 children, O and S. Right? The last piece was M at the rate S. So S is the child of M. Now we do not know the gender of O and S. Of course, gender is not required here. We are working on a numerical question where we have to identify the age of S, probable age of S. So we know that the age of O and S, all 3 of them together, O and S, the sum of their ages is 60 years. Right? And N is 20 years. So if N is 20 years and O plus S is 40 now, O plus S is 40 now, which cannot be the probable age of S? Which cannot be the probable age of S? Remember, H is 50 years old. H is 50 years old, N is 20 years old. So obviously S cannot be older than 50. That is for sure. Right? What cannot be the probable age of S? 51, no? It's straight. Anything else is possible. O plus S. Okay, I think we could have stopped here itself. Option D is the answer. We don't have to draw the family tree. It's a waste of our time. Yeah. This was a sheer waste of time. We should have looked at the options in the beginning itself. He's asking us to find out what cannot be the probable age of S. Obviously, if O plus S itself is 40, how can S be 51? S cannot be 51, right? See, both O and S have to be positive numbers. They are ages. Age cannot be negative. If S is 51, O becomes negative, right? So S cannot be 51. S can be 17, 15, 12, 23, all are possible. So option D is the answer. I think we wasted our time, right? Not really a question on blood relations there. We simply know O plus S is 40. S cannot be 51 if these are ages. Anyways, the idea, the more important takeaway here is to understand the technique of gender and generation gap. If you can work on that, it becomes easy to eliminate the options here. But there's a comment here which says 23 also is not possible value of S for some reason. Let me just go back and see. Okay, I directly jumped to 51 because that came out as a clear odd one. But let's look at the other options also. Is there anything else given? N is 20 years. Okay, N is 20 years. N is 20 years. Do we know any comparison of N and S? This P dollar Q means P is elder than Q. So O dollar N. P dollar Q means what? P is elder than Q. P dollar Q means P is elder than Q. So O dollar N would mean O is older than N. O is older than N. Yeah, so O is greater than N. That is clear. Which implies O is greater than 20. Because N is equal to 20, right? O is greater than 20. And yeah, if O is greater than 20, and O plus S is 40, these two together would tell us that S should be less than 20. So 17 is possible, 15 is possible, 12 is possible, 23 is not possible. So I think there are two wrong answers here. I mean, two answers here actually. Two values cannot be the age of S. 23 is not possible, 51 is not possible. I think this seems to be more of a typo. 51 should not be there in the options ideally. But yeah, 23 is a clear answer based on the data given here. See, what do we know? We know O is older than N. If O is older than N, O should be older than 20 years, right? Because N itself is 20 years old. N himself is 20 years old. If O is more than 20 years, S should be less than 20 years. Only then the total can be 40. So S has to be less than 20. The only option is 23 here. I mean, possible values of S are 17, 15 and 12. What are not possible values of S? 23 or 51. Yeah, 23 or 51. Good, I think C also is the answer there. Interesting. Okay, so that's the next set. Let's move on. Okay, there are more questions. Let's look at this. Next set of questions for you. A is the mother of both U and T. T is the sister of J. J is the son of M. P is married to U and U is the daughter-in-law of K. Why don't you quickly draw the family tree for this? And in the meanwhile, I'll present the two questions that have been asked along with this data. Right? Quick. Draw the family tree. You also have the two questions now. Try and answer these two questions. How is P related to M? And if R is the husband of K, how is K related to P? Alright, so what does it say? Here's the solution. How is P related to M? And if R is husband of K, then how is K related to P based on this data? So A is the mother of both U and T. A is the mother of both U and T. U and T are siblings, their genders are not known to us. T is the sister of J. T is the sister of J. So T is female. J is also a sibling now. And J is the son of M. If J is the son of M, it's obviously A and M are married to each other, because J is also the son of A. If J is the son of A and J is the son of M, A and M are married to each other. And A is mother, so M is father. P is married to U, P is married to U, so P and U is a husband and wife couple. We do not know who's husband and who's wife. U is the daughter-in-law of K. U is the daughter-in-law, so U is the daughter-in-law, which means U is female. So P is male. And since U is the daughter-in-law of K, K should be the parent of T. Right? K is child's daughter, your son's daughter, your son's wife. Your son's wife is your daughter-in-law. So use the daughter-in-law of K. K gender, of course, is not known to us. Very simple. Look at the question. How is P related to M? How is P related to M? M's wife's daughter's husband. Your wife's daughter is your daughter. Your daughter's husband. Your daughter's husband is your son-in-law. So how is P related to M? P is the son-in-law of M. P is the son-in-law of M, right? Next question. If R is the husband of K, okay, now we have one more relationship. R is the husband of K. R and K are married to each other. R is the husband of K. So R is male and K gender is now known to us, right? K is female. Then how is K related to P? How is K related to P? K is the mother of P. Option E. Oh, I think pretty simple, right? Easy ones there. Quickly draw the family tree and answer the questions. So I think what you need to practice is, that convention that you follow, right? I mean, it is not a hard and fast rule that you should always have a double-headed arrow between husband and wife, or males have to be indicated using a plus sign, females have to be indicated using minus sign. No, these are all conventions. You can have your own conventions, follow that properly, and then answer the questions, right? You should know what symbol means what for you, right? I mean, I can say a heart between A and B means A and B are husband and wife, if I have to make it look fancy or, create some drama there, right? A and B, A heart B means A is the husband of B. B heart A means B is the husband of A. But who's going to deal with all that, right? Just a double-headed arrow is my convention that I follow, right? So you can have your own convention, but follow it strictly, draw the diagram properly, and then you will be able to answer questions without any difficulty. Quickly, the last set of questions. Now these are interesting ones where one person introduces another person or talks about another person, but in a very convoluted way. It's not straight like he's my uncle. Instead of saying he's my uncle, I will say he's my mother's husband's father's wife's daughter's brother. Now my mother's husband's father, or my mother's husband is my father's father is my grandfather's wife is my grandmother's daughter is my aunt, and my aunt's brother is my uncle. So instead of saying my uncle, I would make it convoluted unnecessarily, right? So we are given a long sentence with such convoluted relations. You just have to chop it into parts, simplify each part, and connect the two persons. Okay, so let's look at a set of two questions on this model. This is model number 3 from blood relations. Very, very interesting. You must be comfortable solving these questions, and then I think it will be the end of discussion today. So questions on your screen now. Okay, let's look at the first one. Introducing a boy, a girl said, he is the son of the daughter of the father of my uncle. How is the boy related to girl? Look at this. Introducing a boy, a girl said, he is the son of the daughter of the father of my only uncle. Of the father of my only uncle. Now this words only play an important role in such questions, right? Only is like only, but it is really powerful, right? So when you say when A is the only child of B, or A is the only son of B, B has got only one son. Okay. And that solves a lot of, that kind of clears a lot of confusion in such cases. So, pay attention to those words only there, right? Now, what does it say? Introducing a boy, a girl said. So, when a girl is introducing a boy, wherever she has used this pronouns like he, his, it refers to this boy, right? It refers to the boy. So basically I can say this boy is the son of the daughter of the father of my. Now in this case, introducing a boy, a girl said. A girl is saying this. So wherever you have my, it refers to the girl, right? This is the girl. You getting it? So first step is to identify who's the boy and who's the girl. Who's the speaker and who's the introducer and who's the person being introduced. That clarity you must have. So here is the person who's being introduced, and my refers to the girl who's the introducer. Now this boy is the son of the daughter of the father of my only uncle, the girl's only uncle. So which means the girl has got only one uncle. Now father of the girl's uncle. Your uncle's father is your grandfather. So first take this piece basically. Father of the girl's uncle. Your uncle's father is your grandfather. Your You getting it? You don't have to draw any family tree to do that. Just visualize. Girl's uncle, uncle's father. Uncle's father has to be a grandfather. It could be maternal grandfather or paternal grandfather. but for the sake of simplicity, let's say grandfather. So father of the girl's only uncle. The girl has got only one uncle and his father is the girl's grandfather. Now go back. Instead of saying father of my only uncle, you can say girl's grandfather. So now the equation is simplified. He says boy is the son of the daughter of girl's grandfather. Now daughter of girl's grandfather. Daughter of girl's grandfather. Daughter of girl's grandfather. Understand, daughter of girl's grandfather. There are two possibilities. Daughter of girl's grandfather. Daughter of girl's grandfather could be actually girl's mother herself or girl's aunt. You know, daughter of, there's a girl, daughter of that girl's grandfather. There are two possibilities. I'm not drawing any diagram for this, and I also want you to visualize and not get into that unnecessary process of drawing diagram, right? Girl's grandfather, girl's grandfather's daughter. Now your grandfather's daughter, assume that you are a girl for a moment, right? Your grandfather's daughter could be your mother or your aunt. Yes or no? Your grandfather's daughter. Your grandfather's daughter could be your mother, or it could be your parents' sibling, which means your aunt, your parents' sister, which is your aunt. So there are two possibilities now. It could be the girl's mother or girl's aunt. So going back, this whole thing can now be replaced with girl's mother or girl's aunt. Girl's mother or aunt. Now reread the sentence. The boy is the son of girl's mother, or the boy is the son of girl's aunt. Boy is the son of girl's mother. Or there's one more possibility. The boy, this is possibility 1, possibility 2. Boy is the son of girl's aunt. Now, boy is the son of your mother. Son of girl's mother is your brother. And son of your aunt is your cousin. Yes or no? If it is the boy, if the boy is the son of your mother, then he's your brother. If the boy is the son of your aunt, then he's your cousin. So brother or cousin are the two possible answers. So strictly speaking, cannot be determined. Answer cannot be determined to this question. But when you look at the options, uncle gets eliminated, nephew gets eliminated, son-in-law gets eliminated, brother-in-law gets eliminated. The only possibility, the only available option is A. Remember, fifth option here is not none of these. Fifth option here is brother-in-law. If in case fifth option is none of this, if let's say there is one more option which is none of these, then I would go for that. I would go for none of these. This is a better answer. Why? Between brother and none of this, between the two options, brother and none of this, which is correct? None of this is correct. Because brother is a possibility. It's not definite. It could be brother or cousin. As simple as that. So just read the statement. This was easier in fact. It can be made even more complex. Take small parts of it, right? Take one relationship at a time, try to simplify it, and keep connecting it to the previous and the remaining part of the sentence. And eventually you'll be left with that direct relationship between the two persons. Okay? But be careful about possibilities that may arise. Like in this case, there are two possibilities, right? In fact, if you have to do even more religiously and strictly, the very first part itself where we assume that it is girl's grandfather, you should consider two possibilities. It could be girl's maternal grandfather or paternal grandfather. Anyway, eventually you will get the answer as brother. That's a different story. But it could be a maternal grandfather or it could be a paternal grandfather. Final answer will be that the boy is either her brother or her cousin. Yeah. Next question. Try the next one. While going to office, Tejveer meets Rakesh, who is related to Tejveer, because Tejveer is Deepak's father, who is married to Garima. Garima is the daughter of Rakesh. Rakesh has a granddaughter named Disha. So how is Tejveer related to Disha? Now this is again a situation, right? While going to office, Tejveer meets Rakesh and all that, right? Simply, we have to identify the relationship between Tejveer and Disha. But the relationship starts between Tejveer and Rakesh. Rakesh is related to Tejveer. Why? Because Tejveer is Deepak's father. So actual context is this only. Tejveer is Deepak's father, who is married to Garima. Garima is the daughter of Rakesh. Rakesh is a granddaughter named Disha. Based on this, you have to identify the relationship between Tejveer and Disha. How is Tejveer related to Disha? How is Tejveer related to Disha? Try it. Tejveer is Deepak's father. Tejveer is Deepak's father. So Tejveer is Deepak's father. Deepak's father, right? Deepak's father is Tejveer. Tejveer is Deepak's father, who is married to Garima. Now, who here refers to whom? Deepak's father, right? Does it refer to Deepak's father or Tejveer? It should refer to Deepak's father ideally, right? Tejveer is Deepak's father. Yeah, but then Deepak's father, sorry, who is married to, who here refers to Deepak's father, and Deepak's father is Tejveer himself. So basically, Tejveer is married to Garima. I mean, the question was, I mean, actually what I'm trying to understand is it Deepak or Deepak's father? Who refers to Deepak or Deepak's father? I think who refers to Deepak's father? Tejveer is Deepak's father. Who refers to this person who's the father there? Deepak's father. And we know that Deepak's father is Tejveer. So basically, who is married to Garima is Tejveer. Tejveer is married to Garima. Garima is the daughter of Rakesh. Garima's daughter of Rakesh. Garima's daughter of Rakesh. Okay, Garima's daughter of Rakesh. Rakesh has a granddaughter named Disha. Rakesh has a granddaughter named Disha. Rakesh has a granddaughter named Disha. Now there are two possibilities. See, Rakesh's granddaughter need not be Garima's daughter. It could be either Garima's daughter, Disha, right? Or Rakesh may have other children, right? Who have not been specified here. A son or a daughter. And that person's daughter can be Disha. That's a possibility. You understand? It could either be Garima's daughter. So then Rakesh becomes Disha becomes the granddaughter of Rakesh, or Rakesh may have other children. Nowhere it is given that Rakesh has only one child, right? Rakesh can have more than one child. So then Rakesh can have other child whose daughter can be Disha. Even in that case, Disha becomes the granddaughter of Rakesh. You able to follow? So how is Tejveer related to Disha? How is Tejveer related to Disha? Now understand, if you consider this relationship, then Tejveer is the father. If you consider this relationship, then Tejveer is the uncle. Yes or no? If you assume Disha is Garima's daughter, then Disha is Tejveer's daughter as well. So Tejveer is the father. How is Tejveer related to Disha? Either father, or there's one more possibility. Let's assume Rakesh has one more child named, let's say, for example, X. Whoever that X is, right? X's daughter. So now what is the relationship between Tejveer and Disha? Disha's parents, then these will become siblings, right? They will become siblings. Garima and X will become siblings. So Disha's parents, sister's husband. So your aunt's husband is your uncle. You know, your aunt, Garima becomes Disha's aunt, and her husband, your aunt's husband, is your uncle. So father or uncle. These are the two possible answers. But again, if you look at the options, the only one given there is uncle. There's no mention of father. And again, none of this is not there. So we would go for option A. Ideally, we are saying that B, C, D and E are wrong. It's not father-in-law or grandfather or brother-in-law or niece. It is uncle. I mean, if these are wrong, then it has to be uncle. Strictly speaking, answer is father or uncle. Remember, read the last part carefully. How is Tejveer related to Disha? Tejveer is the uncle of Disha. How is Disha related to Tejveer? Disha can either be daughter of Tejveer or niece of Tejveer. Daughter or niece. Right? Many a times, this mistake gets committed knowingly, unknowingly, right? I mean, you are in a hurry to answer the questions. So he's asking how is A related to B? What you have answered is how is B related to A. It's different, right? If A is the father of B, then B is the child of A. So easy asking you to identify the father relationship or the child relationship is important. You're getting it? So pay attention to such questions, right? And don't commit such mistakes, silly mistakes while answering these questions on blood relations. And I think we can close the discussion here. Simple questions, but like I said, the idea was to touch base those concepts, right? Revisit those important concepts of blood relations, right? A very interesting topic. I think practicing for a couple of hours should give you enough confidence to attempt questions on blood relations. You just need to, maybe practice a few questions using the technique of gender and generation gap, because that can help you save time in the exam, right? Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward and carries weightage. It can carry up to 5 marks weightage in the exam. So don't leave it as an option in your preparation, right? Otherwise, you will have to leave those 5 marks as an option in the exam. So that's about it. Thank you all for joining us. We will meet again in the next live session, details of which will be updated on our YouTube channel. You all can subscribe to this channel and also invite your friends to subscribe to this so that they can also benefit from the videos and live classes that we are doing here, right? Keep practicing and do take good care of yourselves. I'll meet you in the next session soon. Bye.